anxiety levels, when they are high, all other diseases start. Sound is one of the oldest form of medicine. 70% of our body is made up of water, and water is always a carrier for frequency and sounds. Brain entrainment is when you are able to change the brain waves in a way with certain vibrations and frequencies of the Himalayan singing bowls, where you are able to bring a person into a relaxed state. For people like us, reaching the delta state is not possible. With these sounds, I'm able to regress people in the delta state so easily. There is only a particular way in which I'm supposed to hit the ball. So when energy medicine steps in, you can see everything without the person opening up the mouth. The bowls can be used for anybody and everybody.
Namaskar everyone, welcome to the Meeting Point podcast. Today we have a very interesting guest. Her name is Almaz Lokhandwala and she's a sound therapist. She has helped many people cure of their sufferings from their ailments, and so she also practices many other modalities. She's been practicing this for last 10 years. Hello Almaz, welcome to the Meeting Point podcast.
Good afternoon everybody. It is so lovely to be here with Sarika. And we are going to be having a short talk on what sound healing is. Sound healing with the Himalayan singing bowls. Thank you very much for having me over. I have always known and heard a lot about Sarika, and it's really good to be here on the show of Meeting Point.
I guess the first meeting was at the Yoga Utsav.
Yoga Utsav, no? Right.
But hardly got any time to meet or interact with. Yeah.
But I have had a lot of friends who were your students, so I knew you from those circle of friends.
Right. And I have been hearing about your sessions on sound healing and all of that. So yeah.
So sound is of course one of my favorite, and I hold it very dearly.
So what is sound healing all about? I'm so curious to know all these things from you.
I would like to introduce you to sound first, and then we will elaborate more on sound healing as well.
Please.
So these are the Himalayan singing bowls, and specifically for Meeting Point, I'm going to be playing them. Please receive. I think the sounds of the Himalayan singing bowls itself speaks for itself.
Yeah, I could hear the resonance.
The resonance, the
Feel
deep,
it.
yes. So sound medicine is one of the most ancient part of our medicine fraternity.
Okay.
We have always known what homeopathy is, what allopathy is, what Ayurveda is, Unani. So maybe we can say, allopathy has an history where it was discovered 200 or 200 plus years ago. Homeopathy was discovered in so many years ago. Ayurveda is so ancient. Unani was discovered so many years ago. The Chinese discovered the principles of acupressure or puncture. Whereas sound, I would say, is one of the oldest form of medicine because the origination came from the sound itself. See, with the Big Bang theory in modern science, we all know that every single organism which came into being, and it was everything, right from the planets to the earth, we are all resonating to a particular frequency.
Right.
And we
Right.
all came with that Big Bang theory itself. So whether it is the mountains, whether it is the rivers, whether it is the trees, whether it is nature, whether it is any organism or mankind, we have all come from sound. Sound is basically a root.
Correct.
It is the core from where we have all originated from. And that is the reason why we resonate deeply with sound. You see, in a relationship, normally, we always need to go back to somebody. Okay? So, your solace factor could be probably a mother, a father, a sibling, or a very close friend. And we call those people, they are my roots. Like, उनके बिना मैं survive नहीं कर सकती. And this is your root as well. So that is the reason why, most of us love good sounds.
Right.
When there is good music playing, we resonate with it. When there are, chanting of the Bij mantras or any other chanting also which is happening in any other religious form, we associate with it and we connect to it because we are connecting to our roots again.
Correct.
The sound of the waves, the sound of the breeze, anything which is soft and nurturing is again getting us back to our roots. And that is the reason why we resonate also best with sound.
That is what sound healing is all about.
Right.
Keeping the bowls aside, generally the impact of sound that it has on us.
Right.
Yeah?
Right.
Wow. Lovely. So how did these modalities came about?
Now that we have understood what sound is,
Yeah.
let us start to understand how sound as a medicine is effective. So just as I explained, we have a lot of medicine forms. But why would sound be so effective in a medical structure? See, 70% of our body is made up of water.
Absolutely.
More than 70%. And water is always a carrier for frequency and sounds. All of us know that.
Yeah.
So cellularly, when we are listening to these particular sounds specifically, cellularly we are impacting our cells, and that is where the change and shift is enabled for any form of healing to take place. So most of our ailments also come from the fact that we have a lot of stress, we have a lot of anxiety. Because of that, our anxiety levels, when they are high, all other diseases start. So any disease that you take, whether it is diabetes, whether it is hypertension, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, cancer, tumors, cysts, they will all arise from a root cause of stress and anxiety.
Right.
And when anxiety and stress is taken care of through this kind of healing, which is very nurturing, which is very calming, which is really getting back to our right state of being in a very calm and nurturing position, we start feeling very peaceful. Obviously, the cells start rejuvenating. And the minute anxiety and stress levels drop, there is a
The
change
healing,
and shift taking place for any form of healing that you choose in any form of ailment.
This is a bottom line everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
There is a lot of brain entrainment also which takes place with sound healing. We have the left brain and the right brain. In the medical fraternity, we measure the frequencies in the form of an EEG machine. When the frequencies are very high, your emotions will always be where, there is a lot of anger, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of fear within you. Then the frequencies are very high.
Okay.
Whenever you are in a relaxed state, the frequencies are very low of the brain waves. What happens is when your frequencies are consistently very high, that is the time when all the diseases also take place. So that is the time when, everything starts developing. Your hypertension, your diabetes, and any autoimmune diseases or any other life-threatening diseases.
Right.
To put you in a relaxed state is where you have to consider brain entrainment.
What is brain entrainment?
So brain entrainment is when you are able to change the brain waves in a way with certain vibrations and frequencies of the Himalayan singing bowls, where you are able to bring a person into a relaxed state.
Okay.
And this happens very naturally. See, normally we have these states of sleep levels. So it starts with the beta state, then the alpha state, then we start dwelling into the theta state, and then the delta state, right? So the beta state is, where your the brain waves are at almost 13 to 30 hertz. Then when you enter the state of alpha state, that is anywhere between 7 to 13 hertz.
7 to 13,
13 hertz.
That's even more lucid and very relaxed state.
Yeah. Then when you gradually move to the theta state, you're anywhere between 4 to 7 hertz.
Okay.
When you are in the delta state, you are anywhere between 0 to 4 hertz.
That's absolutely like a dreamless
state, thoughtless state, deeply meditative. Delta state is where, the Rishi Munis used to be, where they are, like, kuch bhi mujhe hila nahi sakta. I am in one of those places where nothing can, move me.
Correct.
They were able to hold it because of so many years of tapasana, sadhana, where they were able to be in delta state, right? For people like us, reaching the delta state is not possible.
Right.
With these sounds, some of these sounds, I am able to regress people in the delta state so easily. Because it is matching, and that is when the brain entrainment takes place, because while these bowls are played, the brain waves drop to a very calm and deep relaxed state where the body goes into complete relaxation. You are reaching the delta stage. Again, delta stage, if you are reaching it, cell rejuvenation also takes place so beautifully. That is the reason why the shift and change in physical ailments is also possible.
Wow. Nice. Now I get the point.
Yeah.
And how long can we stay in that state? I mean, even after the session is done, okay, how long can we remain in that state?
So, because I'm using entrainment techniques, I cannot leave you in the delta stage. Very gradually, I have to get you back into your alpha state. So, of course, those are the USP of the facilitator and, the protocols which are used to get you back also. But you can stay in the delta stage as much as you choose.
Okay.
So, I will share this incident because I know in the Yogutsav that you all did, you all were very busy and there were so many people. When I had conducted the session, I think it was a crowd of, I think it was 60 plus.
Okay.
What had happened was people came in and aage people made themselves comfortable. The people who kept on coming piche later on were, just going back, and back the space was very cramped. The ones who were left behind were also facing near the veranda where there was a constant come and go of the people. So it was very noisy. When I finished the session, everybody had knocked off completely.
Wow.
And after I finished the group guided meditation session, I use a Tingsha bell. So
What is a Tingsha bell?
Yeah, it's used to bring you back.
Okay.
And there were times when I had to use it on somebody for 7 times.
Ooh.
In this particular session, there was someone for who was sleeping at the last near the veranda. Everybody had got up, everybody was giggling and laughing. I played for him 34 times. He was so deeply entrenched in the Delta state.
Lovely. What an impact.
What an impact.
Yeah.
And normally after I finish the session, I always tell everybody that you are responsible for your body. You have been in the zone. You get up and just sit quietly. Do not, somebody who's come with you or a partner who has come with you, unko please uthaiye mat, because they will get startled in the process.
Right.
Obviously, when somebody goes into such a deep meditative state, it does become a challenge because it is your responsibility. You cannot touch them and wake them up because they will wake up with a start with a headache. Their brain waves have already been altered, but at the same time, I have to get them back, right? Because the next class is there. They have to get up and go. So it is definitely a challenge. And I had this similar experience when I had done some work for an NGO where all teenagers had come for a sound healing session. And this is the same thing where happened. And you know how the kids are, they want to laugh and say, "Arey yaar, tu kitna so gaya?" And like, "Kaise aise kharate maar raha tha tu?" But it is very interesting. So it is the human body itself where you need that kind of rest, or when your mind has been overworked and there is so much that you are going through, that you do fall in that particular Delta state. And specifically for people who have physical ailments, anything to do with the brain, epileptic patients, or people with brain tumors and things like this, it really works wonders, because that is the point when if you receive, you will shift and change for your body.
I get it. Yeah. The healing will be much faster.
Much faster.
So
see, modern science cannot be totally discounted, right? Because it has its own value. But yes, club it with the right resources and an alternative therapy which complements, for the patient's overall well-being as well. It would be so good. Even doctors, for that matter, they are so overworked in so many spheres.
Yeah.
So even for them, something like this it's sheer bliss. So I have been conducting sessions where, there are group guided meditation sessions. There are personalized sessions also, on one-on-one sessions.
Okay.
Yeah. Where I am doing a lot of work by keeping the bowls around their body, on their body. People come with specific issues.
Okay.
And I have been creating a lot of shift and change in their energy levels, even with the ailment. So it is a beautiful experience.
So basically, if we have to talk, draw parallels between sound healing and modern medicine, yes, to a great extent, it is symptomatic and trying to treat you from that space, whereas sound healing is treating you from a deep down state, the deep rooted issues.
Very true.
That could be causing the ailment, right?
Very true.
So at the stress level is where sound healing is making an effect, and then the healing is faster. That's very interesting approach. So what are these bowls made of? I mean, because they seem to be creating such high frequency resonance. What are they made of? Different metals?
Yeah, so Sarika, these bowls are made of brass, tin, copper, zinc. There is a particular, protocol which they follow, because all of them are hand malleable.
Okay.
They are hand hammered. None of the bowls which I use are machine made bowls.
Okay.
They have all been tested, because each bowl that I use resonates somewhere a nearby frequency depending on the work that I am doing.
Okay.
So there are certain bowls which, you know, I am using it for the heart region. So they match up to the frequency where anything to do with the heart is concerned. There are certain bowls which I am using for the entire digestive region.
Okay.
So it is anything to do with, you know, gallbladder, liver, spleen, kidneys, or the digestive organs and the stomach. Then the resonance of that bowl is completely different.
What are the frequencies or resonance? I mean, how do they decide what?
Yeah, that
bowl
is a
will work?
particular science and an entirely different topic, because it
Okay.
is like really very deep. These bowls are very different as compared to what is available in the market.
Right.
Market bowls, they are machine made bowls. So because these bowls are working for a specific reason for each organ, or you know, each protocol that we are doing. Like I do a lot of chakra work also.
Okay.
So that is a completely different set, where I have a bowl set of 7, where each bowl represents a particular chakra. So
Okay.
incidentally, when, you know, I use it for group guided meditations or anything, there are a lot of clients, when I am playing a particular bowl, and they see the colors of that chakra.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is where the USP of these bowls are there, you know, because they
Okay.
are tested and done in a particular manner.
Right. So how should one pick these bowls? Where should they pick these bowls from?
So the ones which I have, they are all IASH, which is an academy here in India.
Okay.
It's known as the Indian Academy of Sound Healing,
Okay.
and they come from there.
Okay.
Right? So my training is also from there.
All right.
As a teacher also, I facilitate courses from IASH itself. So my bowls are entirely picked up from there, you know, because I
Okay.
know the sources.
You know the sources. Yeah.
But then IASH does not provide bowls to other people who are not their students. So it cannot
Okay.
be randomly picked up.
You know, whenever you're traveling to Rishikesh or such places, Ladakh or Nepal or so, you see there are many stores selling these bowls.
Right.
And I think most of them are all machine made.
Right,
Because
right.
it too fine, you know, the finish is too clean and very apparent that it is a machine made bowl. But people who are not aware of it, they just end up buying. The
Yeah, yeah.
shopkeeper will tell them,
Right.
and they buy. Are these easily breakable also?
Yes, they are.
Ah,
So they are fragile if you do not play them the right way.
okay,
If they are struck in the wrong manner,
okay,
because you know, each bowl has their own way of striking also.
okay,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So
Oh.
it is a proper it is a proper science. You know, like when I struck it with the mallet, there is only a particular way in which I am supposed to hit the bowl. If I hit it wrongly, it can crack.
Oh,
Yeah, so it will not break into two that way, but
It will develop a crack.
Yes, it will develop a very fine crack, and it will not give me the required resonance, so it will
Oh,
be
yeah.
ineffective.
yeah. Any single glassware, when it develops
Yes,
a crack, it
yes,
it's,
exactly.
sort of gives out a different sound.
Right.
What are these called? These are called Himalayan singing bowls.
Yeah, the Himalayan singing bowls or the Tibetan singing bowls
They're
is
the
what they are
same.
called. Yes.
Ah, okay. What about crystal bowls? I've seen those very white, translucent looking
Yes,
bowls.
yes. So crystal bowls are basically very high pitched. I mean, my personal take on them is I've not really seen or used it, but my liking and love has always been the Himalayan singing
Okay.
bowls.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the sound healing medicine, in a medicine form, there's a lot of stuff. There are tuning forks.
Tuning forks. Okay.
Yeah, you know, you play them and then you ring them near the ear,
Okay.
and they are also attuned to frequencies. So you know, it's like, again, it's very protocol based. So particular frequency for toothache or particular frequency for XYZ ailment.
Really?
Yeah,
Toothache?
yeah.
Okay.
But they will ring on that particular spot itself, you know, so it will vibrate on that particular spot itself wherever you have touched it.
Be it thyroid or
Yeah,
knee
they do,
issues or
they
whatever?
do. Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, with this also there is play, but this is, you know, where the sound travels more in concentric circles, if you observe.
Okay.
So it's a very different take. Then we have the didgeridoo. The Aboriginals were using it, you know. So there is a lot in sound healing itself. But I would say the Himalayan singing bowls are the most versatile ones.
Yeah.
the most effective ones also.
Okay.
And yeah, they've been my first love.
Yeah, I've seen a sound healing session where somebody's using a harp, somebody's using those crystal bowls, and many other instruments.
Yeah,
also
actually,
that
in
they
this
use.
day and age, to make it more effective and make it more look more prettier,
Huh.
people do get in a lot of instruments. But for me, it has been very different because when I use these bowls, the way I conduct and go ahead with the flow is also very different because I'm so immersed in this, and I'm so immersed in holding space for each one who is there.
I'm sure.
I use them very differently. Of course, each one has their own, nothing against them, but there are people who use rain stakes or the ocean drum to it is more or less like to create more effects.
Okay.
And sometimes I feel mere liye tum kafi ho.
So you only use
Yes,
these bowls
yes.
and do
It
the
is a
healing.
guided meditation which I take them first,
Right.
and then I am just with the bowls, and they create their own magic.
Wow. I could feel the vibrations and the resonance just on this one bowl.
Yeah.
I've seen people use bigger bowls. I'm sure you also have.
Yeah, I
How
do,
many
I
bowls do you have? You said
I have somewhere around 25 bowls.
25 bowls. And how big is the biggest one?
So there are some bowls which are very large where you can even stand in it,
Oh.
and those are played from outside.
Wow.
Yeah, then the whole body feels the vibrations. Yeah, I have certain bowls, as I told you, for digestive issues, for reproductive issues, or for the heart issues. Those bowls are different. Then I have a chakra healing set. Then I have one particular bowl set which I exclusively use for people who are going through any kind of trauma.
Okay.
Or something which is they have contracted in their emotional side very strongly. And the bowls work very beautifully. It's just like 2-3 sessions and you're done and over with it.
You had mentioned about this gentleman who just needed one session, I think, and then he felt better. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, it was a tennis elbow.
Yeah, modern medicine is still, trying to figure out how to cure somebody with tennis elbow in one session. Sound healing does that.
Oh wow, that was amazing. Earlier, people who used to get chikungunya used to have a lot of joint pains.
Yes.
And my God, she was very miserable. And she was with that joint pain for 6 months, and she was like literally in tears. She's like, everything hurts so much. And that's when I told her, I said, you please just come for a sound healing session.
Okay.
She came. And I think in one session itself, she told me 85% of my pain is gone.
Wow.
It just took her 2 more sessions. In 3 sessions, she was over and done with. She was like, no pain.
So if this is working at our stress levels, no? So these 3 sessions or so, they helped her reduce her pain and all of that. What happens to these guys who go back to their routine and are again in the environment which causes stress? So it would be a vicious circle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably they need it for a longer time, or
though my forte is sound healing, and of course I do a lot of other modalities, but my each session, the way I make it for each client who comes to me specifically on a one-on-one, is very different.
Okay.
Because it is very holistic, very holistic.
Okay.
I mean, I will just touch a lot of things with them, because emotionally also I can exactly pinpoint as to what is going on.
Okay.
If they need a little help where diet is also concerned, certain tips, certain things, it just comes in the entire flow of helping them out. Each session is never healing. Each session is very empowering, because they go back with a lot more, and always certain tips, tools and techniques which will help them. They don't have to come back to me. They are already equipped. Like XYZ comes, they know what to do.
Okay.
See, emotional stress basically is something which you contract on a cellular level. Okay. Maybe, for example, an anger towards an XYZ member of the family is probably what somebody has, taken in so much in their system. And then later on, the migraines, the headaches, the spondylitis, and everything starts.
Yeah.
So modern medicine, just treats it there. Spondylitis,
surface level.
XYZ, traction. So when energy medicine steps in, it is like you can see everything without the person opening up the mouth. And you understand it. And then you deal with it. And you equip them that if this comes, you know what to do, because this is harming you. This is eating you up.
Okay.
And also, with the other modalities which I have learned from, there are certain tools and techniques which are always given to them.
Got it. So it's just not sound healing. It's as you rightly said, it's a holistic treatment. So
Right.
so they get solutions through other modalities also, so that they can
Right.
tackle the issue.
Right.
Otherwise, again, they're going back to the environment.
Yes.
वापस वही शुरू हो जाएगा, वही stress levels, everything.
And sometimes what happens is, in the process of the session itself, I'm able to help them. Like the gentleman who came for, his tennis elbow, he was holding on to a lot of hurt about a particular episode.
Okay.
Just one particular one-liner which I said, do you really need to hold on to that emotion? Can you please drop it? And there his whole body slumped. And it was enough. Because he didn't come back to me after the one session. Of course, he gave me a lot of feedback also. He said, I don't really need it because I just got there. So emotionally it was addressed. Physically it was addressed with sound healing. And that's it. Everything was busted.
Wow. Okay.
Women who go through heavy menstruational cycles, specifically during menopause or during any stress levels and things like this. When my menopause also started, I was bleeding for almost 1.5 months. And the first time it happened, normally otherwise periods are always fine, and I didn't know what to do. I was visiting 3 different gynacs. Medicines were not working on me. I had become so weak. Normal work also I was not able to do. I was completely slumped in the bed. There was just this one thing which came to my head after that, and I said, now just stop everything. I said, I'm not visiting doctors. I'm not doing anything. I called up a fellow healer who was into sound healing, and I said, Poonam, just give me sessions. By the second, third, my bleeding had completely stopped. And that is another reproductive bowl which we use in our sessions. It had completely stopped. I came back to normal. I started eating well, regained my strength. Yes, weakness was there, but I was better, fine. Something which even medicines were not really able to help me with, because the minute you stop the medicines or something like this, again the cycle would start. Again the chunks of heavy flow.
Right.
And this was
Wow.
so fantastic. So it's
Amazing.
something which I have also experienced it, and after that I have cured so many women who went through the same stuff.
If one has to come for a session or so to you, how does it work? Because you said there have been a couple of ailments that people had to just come for one session. If not, then it is case to case, I'm sure.
Yes,
somebody
sure.
needs one,
Definitely.
somebody needs
Definitely.
2 or so. So anybody is there whom you had to give lot of sessions, more than 5, 10 sessions for the person to overcome?
Chronic issues always take time, specifically people with chronic ailments of cancer or autoimmune.
They will take a long time.
They will take time. Not everybody comes to get cured, because if they are not
Okay.
willing to drop their victimhood, nothing can help them. Also, some people are very comfortable with modern medicine. They just come to me out of curiosity, but I know only modern medicine will help them. So it's like, I honestly tell them that if your heart lies over there, then please go through that process. To come to any form of energy medicine,
You
it
should be open.
requires surrender first and foremost.
Correct.
There is a process to it, and it requires complete faith and belief that the person who is holding my hand will get me out of it. And in that process also there is another step, because I don't really facilitate. I hold the hand, yes, but ultimately you are the one who has to kick out what you have to
Correct.
kick out now emotionally. So you should be willing to let me do that also. I will just hold the space for you. Right. So it is a very beautiful process which, I have been enjoying every moment of it. But to get the desired result, it works in all factors.
So what got you attracted to sinking bowls?
So, I started my journey way back in 2013. I started it with Access Consciousness.
Okay.
A year later, as I was just experimenting with things, I happened to go to somebody's place who was going to, they were conducting a group guided meditation with the Himalayan singing bowls.
Okay.
When I was in that session, I was extremely disturbed. The sounds were not soothing. I just wanted to get up and run away. I was like, oh my God, when is this going to get over? I am not going to wait till one more hour of all this. I was extremely restless. I was very irritable throughout the session. After the session, with all these emotions in mind, I said, no, if this is a modality which is making me restless, I need to explore it more. I really need to see more about it. And that's when I trained myself for sound healing and completed one level after the other, got more entrenched in it, and came out as a facilitator training people.
So how long did it take for you to get trained in all this?
So I choose to get trained very recently, in fact. This was in, it's been just 4 or 5 years of me doing this. But yes, I had already completed my levels way earlier. It is just that, I was always dilly-dallying about teaching. I was like, not now, not now. Then again, there was some push internally, which was like, not now, then when, which really got me into this.
Okay.
But I think the biggest teacher actually is my patients themselves, because with each one, I get to know so much more. I grow more, I learn more.
Right.
And then training just came to me finally. My maestro was taking up a class and he said, after this, there are not going to be much teacher trainings.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, fine, now I have to get into it now at least.
All right. So we spoke about the bowls helping people with different ailments and different conditions or whatever. Is there anybody who should not be taking as a safety measure?
I have been using bowls on pets also.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Cats, dogs.
They're far more grounded and rooted than we
Yeah. They
are.
receive beautifully well. But for pets, we cannot keep the bowls on their body.
Okay.
They hear frequency, their frequency levels are anyways very high. तो वो लोग बहुत दूर से सुनेंगे. They'll go huddle themselves in a corner and we will be in one space and playing the bowls. So this is one do's and don'ts where pets are concerned. Then for pregnant women, we cannot again place bowls on their body and not do it in the first trimester.
Okay.
Because the first trimester, the fetus is really growing. Maybe if the fetus is not willing for some very loud sounds, or the frequencies are high by receiving. So normally in the first trimester, again, it is not advisable for pregnant women.
Okay.
Second and third trimester, they can't listen to the bowls, but again, you can't place it on their body.
Right.
For very small children also, again, it is advisable that the bowls be played from a little far distance,
Okay.
not very close to them. Otherwise, the bowls can be used for anybody and everybody.
What about people who have epilepsy or deep anxiety issues?
Yes. So for them, in
Or-
fact, the bowls work very well. It calms them down. Again, it also depends person to person. With epilepsy, and sometimes when the brain is so overworked,
Yeah.
they do not lie down. But then as a therapist, you keep playing till they start getting a little uncomfortable with them.
And then they eventually
Yes,
lie down.
yes.
So lying down is a must in this.
For certain positioning of the bowls, yes.
Okay.
But then as a therapist, we can always, kind of make different ways and routes where we can change the protocols a little, where the comfort of the person is taken into consideration.
Taken into consideration. Why do we place the bowls on our body? For better effect?
Yes, that is there. Just as I explained, see, your body is 70% water. Water being a very good carrier for frequency and sound.
Okay.
Cell rejuvenation takes place very beautifully.
I have just experienced one session I was telling you, right, with Poonam. So that was my first experience, sound healing. It was amazing. I don't remember the details now, but I remember it was an experience and it was deeply relaxing. We can safely say that this is a spiritual practice as well, right? More than it's a healing modality.
Yeah, definitely. Healing, yes, definitely. Now, spiritually, you know how people have taken, because the availability of bowls is very rampant. Wherever you go, the bowls are
Bowls
there.
are available. Yeah.
So people just take it, you know, because they feel, okay, while I'm doing my chanting, I can play it or ring it. And any place that you go to, these bowls are there. So it's more out of fascination. And I think those people also market it that way.
Yeah.
That, you know, जब आप अपना जाप कर रहे हो या कुछ कर रहे हो, so, you know, that time use these bowls.
Yeah.
So yeah, spiritually also a lot of people have been using it. But otherwise, these bowls for healing purpose, even space cleansing purpose. So, you know, there are a lot of empty spaces or other spaces which are very cluttered or have a lot of negative energy, or there are times, you know, when certain rooms have a lot of ailment because of a lot of sadness, grief, anything, any emotion also. A space will also connect with certain emotions and be heavily
Right.
laden with that.
Right.
At that time, I use it for space cleansing work also.
So, okay, so you mentioned you've procured your bowls from that particular institute. Any other place if one has to go and procure these bowls?
Not
No
really
idea.
that I know of. Yeah.
Okay. Because I know places like Rishikesh and many other cities, there are like so many of them.
Right.
So many. There are stores selling bowls, but then again,
So you
don't really know.
basically have to understand what resonates with you. There'll be sometimes just a calling, you know, like how there is a piece of jewelry which calls out to you. There are crystals which call out to you. There'll be a bowl which will call out to you.
Okay.
And probably you could go with that flow in case if you ever want to purchase.
Okay.
But otherwise, yes, hand malleable bowls, check that, you know, they are not cracked by playing it a couple of times in the right way and seeing that, you know, you're striking it correctly. Ideally, a bowl should always be striked at the rim,
Okay.
never here. And if you go to see, the people who are selling the bowls will always be striking it hard like this, and they are totally wrong.
Okay.
So there are a lot of wrong things also that people do. Even, you know, this bowl, some people place it on the head and play it, which is totally wrong.
Oh, is
This is where your crown chakra is.
Yeah.
Never ever mess with it. So there are some things which, you know, people don't understand. Probably they just see it on Insta, somebody doing it, and they just copy it. So a bowl can never be struck here. Never. It is always here at the rim.
Okay. At the edge of the bowl.
Yeah,
of
the soft mallet. Then, you know, even the leather striker. So this particular part, you know, will always be like this.
I remember we used to have a bell. Okay. It was made out of Panchadhatu, bought from Sikkim. And it had a similar stick to it, and you had to
Ring it like this.
ring it like that. I think the metals were the same, probably.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Because we did spend a lot of time to see which
One goes and,
and we like the sound of it.
Right.
How's the sound of this one?
Yeah, sure.
Softer. And it should stay for a longer time, no? So, you know what I remember now? So, we were in Nepal and I wanted to buy the Kaska plates. Okay, they are also made out of Panchadhatu. We bought some. A friend was there. She also wanted, I wanted to gift the plates to somebody and all of that. So, we then go to another shop for just shopping or whatever. That guy saw the plates and he says, can I check the plate? And then he started hitting it with a wooden stick. So that's what he said, ki if the hit stays, the sound stays for a longer time, which means you've got the original plate. And we were like, oh my God. उसने बजा के देखा. And that sound lasted for a long time.
So this is
I'll
what
show the plates to you later.
Okay, this is casa. Ah,
I'll show the plates to you.
right,
Yeah.
right.
In fact, Nilakshi had also gifted me some plates when they
Okay.
were winding up the restaurant. So
Right.
those plates were there, and then the ones that we got from Nepal also.
Right.
So they have a certain sound to it. They look somewhat similar.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Is there any way to clean them? You can't scrub them or anything, right?
So normal water.
Okay.
But I normally don't use water or clean them with soap or scrubbing. I don't
Right.
do. I need to get the sheen back or something. I use pitambari, but otherwise no. I mean, they don't need to be cleansed also.
Cleanse. Do these bowls help people with addiction? Have you ever tried?
So again, addiction would require a whole lot of things, because first and foremost, the person has chosen to get addiction because of a deep underlying emotional issue.
Correct.
In most cases, it's control, Somebody else trying to control them and they want to go out of control.
Oh, like that. Okay,
Right.
making a point.
Yeah.
Sort of.
So addictions is a very different ball game. With addiction comes a whole lot of other stuff also, because the
Right,
body
right.
has already gone into abuse, na?
Correct.
Self-abuse.
Correct.
It is a very different way in which it is dealt with. But for addictions, I club my other modalities also, to support the entire process for the client.
Yeah.
So I do it with the bowls also, but then I would need a lot of other support tools and techniques and empowering the client. Sometimes it's very easy to say, okay, XYZ ailment, but then addiction is never easily kicked out. The worst phase starts when the person chooses to kick
it out.
and the symptoms are, the withdrawal symptoms start.
Yes.
So that is the toughest phase, and it is not only just the person who is going through this, it is the other caregivers' support also.
So a lot is at play.
A lot is at play.
And many
Yeah.
ways of healing would be required.
Right.
Okay.
So same thing with cancer.
Okay.
Basically, we see cancer, okay, in some cases are different, of course, but in some cases, there is a very deep underlying emotional issue which the person has gone through,
Right.
either in terms of anger or suppressed emotions or some such thing. So it's not that, I'm just going to be addressing it with the bowls. That underlying issue also has to be addressed with. At some point of time, the person has decided that I did rather die than live. And that is the reason why the cells start killing them one another. It's a response, the body's response to your thoughts.
But at the same time, many people don't look at it that way also. They think, "Mujhe kyun hua?" Because they're not
right.
aware of the deep down issues that
Right.
they're creating for their body.
Yeah.
Physiologically.
Just as you said, there's a lot at play. Talking to them, making them understand, asking them to let go, forgive, gratitude, so many other factors of better emotions which can be used to let go of, the emotions where they are feeling stuck.
Okay. And when you're giving them this therapy, what kind of setup would you need? Open space or enclosed?
Yeah, so
or-
either they have to lie down basically, and then I prepare them in a guided form, where I ask them and certain questions and things like this, and then the rest, almost for 50 minutes of it is me going ahead with the protocols of keeping the bowls around them or on them. So they could be lying down on the bed also. I just need space around, to keep the bowls. So preferably a larger bed, because if it's a double bed or something, it is better for me to arrange the bowls as well, or even on the ground.
Or even on the ground. And the room can be well ventilated or it can be closed. Or
Yeah, so I I just need more quieter space, because then I don't want them to be distracted with the outside sounds.
So a quieter space is what you would be looking at. Because then I was thinking, would it make sense to go to hospitals, visit hospitals where there are cancer patients, or for that matter, any other ailment, where then one can give them.
So a lot of countries
session.
they are doing it. Like in Germany, there are some places which have adopted this. Even in India, Gine Chune, where people are realizing this.
Okay.
And they are taking it up. What happens is, sometimes when you keep the bowl on a person's palm or on the chest, there could be all clutter around you. But because of the vibrations, the person is automatically connected.
Or drawn to it.
Drawn
There's
to
no
it.
scope, they can go everywhere.
Yes, so it does make a difference. challenges are definitely there, but then sometimes, it's like instead of just being helpless, at least there's something which is helping them.
And I guess that's why also it sort of helps you in meditation as well.
Right.
You play a very soft music if you want to sit and meditate. Even in Yoga Nidra, there's a soft, gentle music being played. Takes
Yes.
you into that space,
Correct.
zones you out completely.
Correct.
This was amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Almaz, for coming. Taking your time out, precious time out and coming.
My
Because I know
pleasure.
your calendar is always booked with therapy sessions. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Sarika. It's been a pleasure to be here at Meeting Point, and thank you very much for having me over. Thank you
Yeah.
once again.
And I hope you've enjoyed the session. So please do remember to like and subscribe our channel. Thank you.